Thank you very much, Ajay sir. Respected CA Shashank Agarwal ji, Chairman NIRC, CA Ajay Singhal ji, Secretary NIRC, CA Ratan Singh Yadav ji, Chairman Nikasa NIRC, CA Sweta Pathak ma'am ji, Nikasa member, CA Rohit Garg ji, Vice Chairman Canal Branch, CA Dinesh Gupta ji, Treasurer Canal Branch, CA Bimal Jain ji, Honorable Guest Speaker. Today I welcome all of you on this webinar on GST input tax credit Intricacies and open to therein on the webinar organized by Canal branch of NIRC. I also really appreciate our CA guest speaker, CA Bimal Jain ji, who have given their valuable time and sharing their valuable knowledge to our respective member of Canal branch. Thanks to CA Shashank Agarwal ji and his team, who have also always motivated Canal branch and all other branches. Thank you very much, sir. Ajay sir.
Yeah. Now I'll invite ex officio Ratan Singh Yadav, ex officio Karnal branch, to say few words.
Thank you, Secretary NIRC of ICI. As a ex officio is also member of the branch also. So on behalf of Karnal branch, I welcome Bimal Jain ji, guest speaker for the day. Not from NIRC Nikasa chairman, on behalf of Karnal branch, I welcome our dynamic chairman Shashank ji, Secretary NIRC Ajay ji, and one and strongest our NIRC member Sweta Pathak ji, Nikasa member. Or I will not take too much time because others have to speak, and we are here to listen बिमल जी जो वन ऑफ द रिनाउंड स्पीकर हैं जीएसटी में, और जीएसटी इनपुट के जो भी ओपन इश्यूज हैं, इंट्रिकेसीज हैं, वो हम डिस्कस करेंगे अगले 1.5 घंटा 2 घंटा, और उसके बाद सवाल जवाब भी करेंगे. और मैं तो बस एक ही बात जानता हूं, किसको फायदा हुआ क्या हुआ ये मुझे नहीं पता है जीएसटी से, लेकिन एक बात जरूर कहूंगा कि जो हमारे यंग चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स भाई जो बहन जो बने मेंबर्स बने, जीएसटी ने एक अच्छे तरीके से उनको एक प्लेटफॉर्म दे दिया अपनी प्रैक्टिस जमाने का, चलाने का, चाहे एम्प्लॉयमेंट का. तो हमारे लिए तो एक प्रोफेशन के लिए जीएसटी आना एक बहुत ही अच्छा एक बूम साबित हो रहा है, और हमारे यंग बच्चे अच्छे से इसमें प्रैक्टिस भी कर रहे हैं, तो उनके लिए ये सेशन भी अच्छा रहेगा. और हमारे साथ अजय जैन जी भी हैं, हमारे संदीप शर्मा जी भी हैं, बाकी करनाल ब्रांच भी है. नाउ अगेन आई हैंड ओवर mic to Ajay ji to move forward the session.
Thank you, Ratan ji, for your kind words. Now I'll invite the only lady in the Regional Council, Sweta Pathak. Sweta Pathak, please say a few words, Sweta ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. करनाल ब्रांच का ये इनिशिएटिव जो NIRC भी ले रही है, इंस्टीट्यूट भी ले रहा है, इस लॉकडाउन के टाइम में अप्रिशिएबल है, और आप सभी मेंबर्स के एफर्ट्स लर्निंग के टुवर्ड्स बहुत अप्रिशिएबल है कि हम लोग इस स्थिति में भी सारे लोग मिलकर कॉन्टिन्यूस लर्निंग की तरफ चल रहे हैं. और बहुत थैंकफुल हैं हम उन सभी स्पीकर्स के लिए जो इस समय अपना वैल्यूएबल टाइम और नॉलेज हम सभी के साथ शेयर कर रहे हैं. और मैं चाहूँगी कि सभी लोग इस दौरान सेफ रहें, सुरक्षित रहें, और नॉलेज बांटते रहें और नॉलेज गेन करते रहें. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Sweta ji, saying stay home, stay safe, and stay updated. That's the mantra we at NIRC is also following. So in each every message, the message is going to the members. Please be safe, be home, and be updated. So now I'll invite our young chairman, Shashank Agarwal, to say address for extending his chairman address. Shashank, over to you.
Good afternoon, Jai Shri Krishna to all. And when Bimal Jain sir is here, so I say that I'll restrain to speak much. I just say that COVID-19 must be ending soon, and that I pray to God. And in Delhi, hopefully it will close soon, because some members are saying that it's not closed yet, and some members are saying it's you can open your office because you have a private office. So my humble request to everyone, please be safe during this COVID-19. Either it is open or not, but please keep maintaining the social distance and learn togetherly, learn with everyone, and let's do the work effectively, efficiently by sitting at home or by maintaining a social distance at office. And apart from that, because Bimal Jain sir is like my guru only, he always taught our GST in a very simple manner to everyone. So I'll not definitely take any much time. And welcome, sir, Bimal Jain sir, for such a wonderful deliberation on GST intricacies of ITC. Please, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Hiranji. Now that we have with us two study circles, one is Rohini CP Study Circle and another is the East Delhi Study Circle. Sandeep ji is representing East Delhi Study Circle and Ajay Jain ji is representing Rohini Study Circle. So before inviting our learned and most popular GST speaker, I can say, I will request Ajay Kumar Jain ji to please say few, please introduce Bimal Kumar ji. Ajay Kumar ji, over to you.
थैंक यू सिंगल जी, विमल जी को नमस्कार, सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स को, सभी ऑर्गेनाइजर्स को नमस्कार. I am Ajay Kumar Jain, convener of Rohini CP Study Circle, and I feel proud to be the part of this webinar. I have been assigned the work of introducing Sri Bimal ji. Although he needs no introduction, he is a well-known faculty, well-known personality. But as a protocol, I have to adhere to the work given to me. Bimal ji, he is FCA, he is FCS, he is LLB, having 21 years of experience in indirect taxes. He's expert in GST, service tax, excise, customs, VAT, CST, FTP, DGFT, and matters related thereto. He has been the chairman of Indirect Tax Committee of PSD Chamber of Commerce, chairman of Corporate Advisory Committee of IPEM Group of Institutions, member of Indirect Tax Committee of ASSOCHAM, FICCI, special invitee of Indirect Tax Committee of ICAI, ICSI, member of eminent faculties in Indirect Tax Committees of ICAI, ICSI and ICMA. और उनके बारे में क्या कहूँ, मैं बस कुछ शब्दों के साथ उनको इनवाइट करना चाहूँगा कि he is not only learned but he is a very successful person, and I think the reason for being successful is the reason of people being successful is they walk extra miles beyond the point from where the unsuccessful people returns. So I hand over the mic. I invite Bimal Jain ji for his deliberation. Thank you, sir.
Bimal ji, over to you. Thank you, Ajay ji,
Thank
for
you, sir.
introducing Bimal ji. Bimal ji, over to you.
At the outset, let me thank the energetic and dynamic chairman of NIRC. Such a young face, Sasang Bhai, is very dynamic and energetic. Secretary NIRC, Ajay Singhal ji.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Then I saw Mr. Ratan Singh ji and Madam Sweta Pathak alongside Sri Ajay Kumar ji Jain and CA Sandeep Sharma ji and CA Deepak Kapoor ji as a Karnal branch chairman. So before I start, because I'm finding this NIRC team is very energetic and dynamic, they are doing a lot of activities during this COVID-19 time period. And we must do that. And that is what the responsibility lies on our soldier, that during this COVID-19, we must ensure that we are giving and extending our support and help to all the needy class. This time is a very critical for the nation as a whole and the world as well. So what we have to do, we have to come together, stay safe, social distancing to be maintained, and then we have to extend our whatever best support we can give to the needy class during this COVID-19 time period. I strongly believe that together we will defeat Corona. And now this lockdown phase 3 is supposed to be starting from tomorrow. I am of the opinion that this lockdown is only in the mindset. We as a professional are always open. We can do lot many things, whatever we want to do. And this lockdown is creating opportunity for all of us together to really innovate, find out new areas, find out new habits and hobbies we wanted to do, but because of time, we were not able to do that. Now, this time is also helping us to learn new professional opportunities, whatever we are doing in our profession. So GST is one of the topic. And thanking each of the participants, those who are watching this today's webcast, today being Sunday, but during this lockdown, there is no meaning of Sunday. Every day is a Sunday for us, but nevertheless, I'm requesting my all the participants, first greeting them that they're joining today, and then I will request them that they should really walk the talk with me. I'm not going to make any PowerPoint presentation. I saw in a chat box that somebody is saying, say the PPT. I have not deliberated at all. He's looking for the PPT. So I will request my professional members that really time gone for the PPT. We have to interact. We have to really, discuss the subject matter. Try to visualize why this open and burning issues. Topic given to me: intricacies in GST ITC, input tax credit. I will definitely try to make it lighter for all of you. And I'm sure you'd be liking this particular topic because GST ITC is such a broader issue that we really need to look at, because in GST there are two pillars. One is the tax liability and one is the ITC. As we know that when we started GST on 1st July 2017, we were saying that there would be three returns: GSTR 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3 is being done away with. So pertaining to my outward supply, I'm maintaining some reconciliation. But for ITC, we are lacking behind. Understanding of ITC is also not up to the mark. I'm going to discuss certain open issues today, which is pertaining to GST ITC. I really want to see in chat box as well, that you are participating with me. You are really going all along with me. I would be discussing the topic and would be looking your observation, your yes and no, so that I will come to know, yes, you are getting my point. So without taking much time, let me start my topic on GST ITC, input tax credit, with the intricacies and the open issues. Hope everyone is with me now. Okay, all right. So let's start. The first and foremost, if you look at the GST ITC provision, it is under section 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm not going to discuss section wise. I have made the case studies for all of you. I will be discussing case studies and then taking you all along for finding what we should do in such a situation. The first case study in front of you. The first case study is, let's say you got 15 lakh rupees, 15 lakh rupees in your books of accounts. But your 2A, GSTR 2A is showing a credit of 10 lakh rupees. We always find this question in the trade. My books is saying 15 lakh. 2A is saying 10 lakh. How much credit I must avail? How much credit I must avail? Now, in a given situation, if I pose this query to all of you, I would like to know from all of you, and you must write in your chat box, how much credit you would be availing while filing 3B, GSTR 3B, when there is a difference of 5 lakh rupees credit, 5 lakh rupees credit as per books and GSTR 2A. Can you write down in your chat box that how much you'd be availing? Please tell me. Bipul has given the answer. Rakesh has given the answer. Akhilesh has given the answer. Ganesh ji is saying. So everyone is now participating. Puneet Mehta has started giving the answer. Now, listen very carefully. Listen very carefully. And this is important. That's the reason I want you to participate. There's the one rule. And what is that rule? Before I start to that rule, let's look at the 4 conditions. Let's look at the 4 conditions for availing credit. 4 conditions for availing credit. Under section 16, subsection 2. What I'm expecting from each one of you today, that maybe you can keep a piece of paper, pen or pencil in front of you. Since I'm not making any PowerPoint presentation, you can just note down the bullet point. This might help you later for your own digest, so that you can diagnose the provision and apply the provision in a right perspective. I will give you certain life case study, and this is one of the life case study. Under section 16, subsection 2, there are 4 conditions for availing credit. Availing credit. What are those 4 conditions? As a recipient, I must have tax invoice. When I'm saying my books credit is 15 lakh, my GSTR 2A is saying 10 lakh, there's a difference of 5 lakh rupees. And there's a confusion and debate in the trade how much to avail. So being a recipient, I'm having tax invoice. Second condition says that I must have received goods or services, which I have received. I have received goods and services. Third, my supplier must have paid taxes. I have paid my amount to my supplier, GST also, and supplier must have deposited. So meaning thereby, if I have paid the amount, being customer, being recipient, if I have paid the amount and GST to my supplier, credit is available to Bimal Jain, recipient, only when supplier has paid the taxes. And last condition, being recipient, I must have filed my return. These are the 4 conditions. In a given situation, the one big confusion. What is the confusion? That book saying 15 lakh rupees, 2A saying 10 lakh rupees, looks like my vendor and supplier. Let's you all become my vendor and supplier. Let's all the viewers becomes my vendor, my supplier, and let me be the recipient, customer. You as a supplier might not have uploaded the invoice particulars or debit note particulars while filing your GSTR1. Since you have not uploaded in your GSTR1, hence it is not reflected in my 2A. Hence, there's a shortfall of this 5 lakh rupees. My book saying 15 lakh, 2A saying 10 lakh. Now here one practical example I want to deal with all of you, which you may not have focused, but very important. What is that one? There may be a case that you have not filed your GSTR1, right? If you have not filed GSTR1, it is not reflected in my 2A, hence 5 lakh rupees difference. But there's a possibility that being supplier, you may have filed your 3B, but not GSTR1. So if you have filed your 3B, not GSTR1, then what happened? That credit still not coming in 2A, but I'm legally entitled to avail credit. But there's nothing coming out. And the way these rules are being drafted, these are creating contradiction against the provision of the Act. Now, having said that, this point, if you want my opinion, I will not look at 2A only as my document, but I know that the rule which I'm going to discuss today, And given the example, if supplier has filed 3B, not GSTR1, that is the reason not reflected in my 2A, but legally I'm entitled to avail credit. First part. Second part. Now, since I asked this question to all of you, and you started answering also, let's look at what is the Rule 36, Sub-Rule 4. It is a new rule got inserted from 9th of October 2019 by notification number 49/2019. And what this rule says, you can just start bullet point, you can start capturing. And today I really want, by the time I end my session, you should have prepared at least 4-5 pages summary of my discussion today for your own digest. I know many young chartered accountants are watching this webinar, this webcast. They will really come to know how to prepare a topic, why a particular topic would be having divergent way to look at. I request my participants to really take down such things. Now, this rule got inserted from 9th October 2019. And what this rule says? This rule says there would be capping of 20%. Initially, it was 20%, later reduced to 10% from 1st January 2020. There would be capping of 10% now of eligible credit coming in my 2A pertaining to invoice and debit note which is not uploaded by my supplier and vendor in their GSTR1. So there are two layers. What are the two layers? Rule 36 sub-rule 4 says, Bimal, pertaining to invoice and debit note whose particulars are not uploaded by the supplier in GSTR1, so that is 5 lakh rupees. Pertaining to this 5 lakh rupees, Bimal, there would be capping of 10%, 10% from 1st January 2020 of eligible credit coming in my 2A, recipient 2A, customers 2A. So I said my 2A is showing 10 lakh, capping of 10% to be calculated on 10 lakh, which is 1 lakh rupees. Now I can get maximum of 1 lakh rupees pertaining to 5 lakh rupees, which is the difference on account of invoice and debit note not uploaded by supplier. This is understandable to all. Now your test. This test, you have to give it to me. Let's assume, hypothetically, that my 2A, which is having 10 lakh, includes 2 lakh rupees block credit, negative list, 17 subsection 5 ineligible credit. So 10 lakh includes 2 lakh rupees. Now, if at all you have to calculate this capping of 10%, how much is the amount which you can avail as against 5 lakh, which is not uploaded by the vendors? Write down in a chat box, please. How much you can avail maximum? Please write down in a chat box, quick. I want to see the answer from all of you. So Rajiv Arora is reverting with the answers, and I'm getting the answers, and this is very good. It is 8,80,000 rupees. Yes, perfect. 8,80,000 rupees. Appreciate this. Audience is very good. Murli is also saying, everyone, Nitin is incorrect. Kindly correct. 8 lakh is the eligible amount. and 80,000 pertaining to your that difference of credit not reflected. Now, having said that, there is one circular number 123 issued on 11th November 2019. And there's certain clarification given. I will discuss such clarification, but for your information, what you should know, you can note down point number 1, 2, 3 like this. Point number 1, you should not consider these credit for capping calculation. Like import of goods, when you pay IGST on import of goods, should not be considered for capping calculation. Reverse charge method, GST paid, credit availed, should not be considered for capping provision. Then ISD, input service distributor, or transitional credit availed, or credit which is availed but reversed on account of non-payment, 180 days, and then again availed, you should not consider such credit for the capping calculation. Part 1. Part 2. This rule says, Bimal, it is to be calculated for 2A of recipient. Next question will come. When Bimal Jain, being customer or recipient, should download his GSTR 2A, because this is a dynamic document. When he should download, then it is being stated it should be downloaded on 11th of next month. If I'm saying for December 2019, then you should download your GSTR 2A as customer on 11th of January. But this is creating problem. Problem of what? If my supplier filing GSTR1 monthly filer and they file on 12th of January, which is pertaining to December 2019, what happened then? Then 2A of 11 will not reflect the tax amount of GSTR1 filed on 12th. First mismatch. Second mismatch, if my vendor are quarterly filer, quarterly return filer, then you know October to December, they are supposed to file by 31st January. So in all probability, the taxes GST paid by quarterly return filer getting reflected in my 2A only on 1st February. So 11th of January, it will not have. So difference again coming out. Practical problem for all of us. This circular which got issued on 11 November 123, it also says, and this I'm posting to all of you, it is saying, Bimal, when you need to calculate this 10%, this should be calculated supplier-wise, invoice-wise, or consolidated. Circular says it is self-assessment tax. You calculate on consolidated basis. But I'm of the opinion it is not possible. Unless you do calculation invoice-wise, you will not come to a right figure. I can tell you one live example. Let's say my supplier charged 10,000 rupees at GST. But by mistake, he has shown 10 lakh rupees, uploaded the details of GST, 10 lakh in GSTR1 by mistake. So what happened? My 2A would be showing 10 lakh as against 10,000. If I consider my 2A as a consolidated, then I will end up doing wrong calculation, because then I will calculate capping on 10 lakh as against 10,000. So I end up checking my numbers invoice-wise. So I'm of the view, the circular which is saying self-assessment tax going contrary, A and Y. Now coming to the legal aspect of it. legal aspect of it. See, if you look at this Rule 36 sub Rule 4, I am of the opinion this rule is contrary, ultra vires with the provision of the GST Act. It is violative of section 41, 42, 43A. And let me tell you that there is section 43A subsection 4 clearly says when furnishing of return, taxes charged by supplier, credit taken by the recipient. There's a capping provision in 43A subsection 4. This is the section which was envisaged keeping in mind new return system, which was supposed to be from 1st April 2020, now postponed to 1st October 2020. What 43A subsection 4, which is not in place, going to be effective from 1st October 2020, I'm really amazed that how come a rule introduced creating capping, and this rule is going contrary to that my example, wherein my supplier has filed 3B, but not GSTR 1. Hence, amount is not reflected in my 2A. Otherwise, legally, in terms of section 16, subsection 2, I'm entitled, being recipient, I'm entitled to avail credit. So I'm of the opinion this rule is contrary. And big irony and laughing stuff. I always look at provision of the act as father and rule as son. Rule are delegated provision, which is driven from the father, from the provision of the act. Rule cannot take the position of provision. Son is after all son, and son cannot born without father born, before father born. When 43A is not in place, how come a rule can be introduced and that is going contrary? Submission to all of you. Now that is what this rule all about. Now as a way forward, I'm going to discuss Rule 86A, where blocking of credit provision is also there. So what government is expecting now? Government is introducing such rule and provision keeping in mind there is a fake invoice in the market. Credit need to be checked, controlled, but while doing so, they are introducing such rule going contrary, creating unease of business and problem for the honest taxpayer. One more provision I will add with the Rule 36 sub Rule 4, which you must know. As a tax relief measure, Honorable Finance Minister has announced on 24th March and corresponding notification got issued on 3rd April 2020. The notification number 30 dated 3rd April 2020 says, for compliance of Rule 36 sub Rule 4, this rule which I referred just a while ago, compliance of Rule 36 sub Rule 4, now for the period February to August 2020, February, March, April, May, June, July, August 2020 can be postponed, and cumulative effect of adherence of the condition of Rule 36 sub Rule 4 can be given in the month of September 2020, GSTR 3B. GSTR 3B. I hope you have understood this provision. This notification 30/2020 says, Bimal, adherence of this Rule 36 sub Rule 4, it's kept in abeyance now for the period February to August. Cumulative effect is the same to be given in the month of September 20, GSTR 3B. If I tell you this provision and want you to tell me the answer, 15 lakhs books credit, 10 lakhs GSTR2A for the month of February, June, and you have to take the credit for the month of February, how much credit you can avail? Write down in a chat box. How much credit you can avail? Write down in a chat box. Quickly. Yes, please. How much credit you can avail? Yes, please. Yes, I'm getting now 15 lakh rupees credit I can avail, because cumulative effect of this rule 36 sub rule 4 now to be given in the September 2020. Perfect. So I'm appreciating everyone, each one of you who is responding to this particular answer. Now, having said that, the first part, another rule, rule 86A, rule 86A, it got inserted on 26th December 2019, 26th December 2019. Therein the provision say there's a blockage of credit allowed by the commissioner or any officer not below the rank of assistant commissioner, and my credit can be blocked by the officer commissioner or any officer not below the rank of assistant commissioner for a period of 1 year. Just imagine a situation, and I'm sure in a trade there would be certain taxpayer and tax consultant, they would be knowing that department has blocked their credit. Blocking credit means you cannot use such credit for a maximum period of 1 year for utilization with your output tax liability or claiming refund thereof. And the five circumstances given wherein this is blocked by the officials. What are the 5 situations? Situation number 1, being recipient, you have availed credit on invoices raised by the supplier, and supplier is non-existent or not operating business. That is called fake invoices. Second, being recipient, you are availing credit, but you're non-existent. You're not doing business from your registered premises. Third, you have not received goods or services. If you have not received goods and services, no credit. You're not having tax invoice with you. Being recipient, you're not having tax invoice. Gone. And last condition. Here I want to do little case study. I want you to participate. They are saying, let's say you all were my supplier, right? As per the example I took, you are all my supplier and I'm your recipient customer. Let's say you have raised invoice for 10 lakh rupees and charge GST 18%, 1,80,000 rupees. I have paid the amount to you, 10 lakh and 1,80,000. You being supplier, even after collecting the amount from me, from customer, you have not deposited to the government exchequer. It's a supplier at fault. Supplier has faulted with. Even after collection, they are not depositing with the government exchequer. Tell me, I'm nowhere at fault. But can I avail credit which you have not deposited, which supplier has not deposited? Write in your chat box. Can I avail credit? Please tell me. Please. Can I avail credit? This is my question to all of you. Can I avail credit? This is what the point which I want to really ask and want to have input from your side. If you look at this question, I'm getting contrary perspective. Some are saying yes, some are saying no, And this is what answer is coming out. Now, please tell me, I want to ask each one of you, who is at a fault for this transaction? Supplier? Why recipient credit would be denied? Whether recipient has done any mistake in this regard? And let me give you the background. This is one of the last condition of blocking of credit. Being a recipient, I'm an honest taxpayer. I paid the amount to the supplier. Supplier defaulted. He must be punished. Why my credit denied for the fault of supplier? In pre-GST era for central excise and with credit, there was Honorable Supreme Court judgment KK Industries. And it is being held that credit is not denied in the hands of recipient for the fault of supplier. Even under DVAT, Delhi Value Added Tax, Delhi High Court has given judgment in the case of Arise India. Credit cannot be denied for recipient for the fault of supplier. And when SLP got filed against this Delhi High Court judgment, it was grossly dismissed, though no ruling stated by Honorable Supreme Court, but Delhi High Court has said recipient credit can't be denied for the fault of supplier. And to add further, Bharti Telemedia Limited, there's a certain writ which is being filed in different high court only on this pretext, whether credit can be denied in the hands of recipient for non-payment by the supplier. Writ got admitted and notice is being issued to the revenue. Now, having said all this background, we are looking forward what is going to happen for section 16 subsection 2 clause C. Now, when I've said all this thing to you, there would be two schools, I'm sure about it. There would be two schools. One school would be saying, no, sir, section 16 subsection 2 clause C is the sacrosanct. When law is like this, you can't help it. Another school will come and say, again, I'm telling you, another school will come and say, and this I'm bringing to your attention. And those who are so law abiding, this is message to them. Tell me, had GSTR 1, 2, and 3 continued, and listen very carefully, I'm just creating background why I'm getting stronger and why I'm hopeful that I will get some ruling in my favor. I'm creating that background. Listen very carefully. Had the GST return system continued 1, 2, and 3, as a recipient, I would have availed credit. See what happened if my supplier is not filing GSTR 1, not filing 3B, amount is not going to be auto-populated for me in my 2A. But had GSTR 2 continued, just assume, I would have taken credit of this tax which I paid to my supplier while filing GSTR 2. So there will always be mismatch, because then this GSTR 2 gets auto-populated for my supplier in 1A, and supplier will come to know that Bimal Jain, being recipient, has availed credit on invoices raised by the supplier, which supplier has not uploaded in their GSTR 1. 1A would be there before him. So my supplier getting 2 days time period either to accept and reject, right? But this GSTR 2 and 3 is being done away with. Now, for compliance of section 16 subsection 2 clause C, which was driven by process of my return filing under section 37, 38, 39. So those who were answering so boldly, third condition not fulfilled. Section 16, subsection 2, clause C. I saw some of the new participants, they have said like that. And on top of it, you know the dispute of GSTR 3B under section 39, which is not a return. Gujarat High Court has held that. I know SLP got filed in Supreme Court. Supreme Court has admitted the SLP. This matter is sub judice. In all such given situation, being a taxpayer, honest taxpayer, when my all process part is being curtailed, none other than by government, how can I comply? Section 16, subsection 2, clause C. This is my answer to all such those who are voicing this is the law, sacrosanct law. So now I'm looking for the answer in the chat box. If at all you have to consider this point, don't you think that we are getting some light and hope that even for section 16, subsection 2, clause C, I could not adhere for the region and my credit should not be denied for the fault of supplier, which should have been automated had GSTR 2 and 3 continued. Write down in your chat box. You say, I want to hear you guys to tell me, yes, this is looking logical point and this is what we all are looking for. Please tell me. So I've seen the chat boxes now pipping in and everyone is saying and making their point as well. Okay. So some of the guys are coming, sir, how come we are a small taxpayer and we cannot file writ? Nevertheless, writ are going to be decided on question of law. For small taxpayer, I'm not saying you should file a writ, but I'm saying you will get clarity on question of law. So now having said rule 86A and rule 36 sub rule 4, why government is inserting such rule? Knowing the fact they wanted to done away and control fake invoices. That's the reason they are bringing such rule. And this is not creating ease of business for the taxpayer, honest taxpayer. But now what is way forward for all of us together? The way forward for all of us is, you know, in banking sector, we got concept of KYC, know your customer. In GST, government wanted to draw know your supplier. You must know your supplier before you purchase. There is section 155 of CGST Act, which says burden of proof lies on the person who is availing credit. So in time to come, and the new return system which we are going to envisage from 1st October 2020, it is going to be credit available to me, to recipient, to customer only when my supplier upload the invoice particulars. Unilateral. Maybe for the time being, government is saying I will give some transition time period wherein normal return filer, RET1, they would be given little window, transition time period T plus 2 months for availing credit on missing invoices. But for Sahaj, RET2, Sugam, RET3, no credit on missing invoices, meaning thereby they have to ensure their supplier are genuine supplier, registered supplier, regularly paying taxes, filing their return. So as a way forward, it is for all of us together. If at all we want to avail credit, we have to ensure know your supplier. So this was my first case study. Coming to the second case study. Yes, coming to the second case study. I'm sure I'm seeing your answer also. I'm seeing your answer, which is given in a chat box. I'm liking it. Believe me, your participation is really positive to me. Second one, and I'm going to give you the opinion. I'm not leaving you in a dark. I'm giving my opinion and telling you that this is my answer. This is the vision I'm carrying. So I will not leave you in a dilemma and confusion. I'm going to give you what is my take and what you should do that. Now take another example. Section 16, subsection 4. Section 16, subsection 4. Last date to avail credit. I know that this particular section is very, very important. And I'm going to discuss, and today I will create opportunity legally, I'm telling you. And I'm going to make my observation also. See, our annual return, GSTR 9 and 9C, for financial year 2018-19, due date is 30th June 2020, right? Two more announcements pertaining to annual return. Just listen. I will request you come to a chat box. My request, you come to a chat box only when I'm asking you to reply. Till then, you listen to me carefully. That will help both of us from my side to really take that topic in a way where I want to get it to your mind, and you respond back when I'm posting query to you. I'm confident that you all are a good GST tax practitioner. But go as per me. For annual return, GSTR 9, if your aggregate turnover is less than 2 crore, then it's optional for 18-19. Now, another provision got changed and a provision got inserted under Rule 80, Sub-Rule 3. If your aggregate turnover is less than 5 crore, in financial year 2018-19, less than 5 crore, then you are not required to undertake GST audit and file audited reconciliation statement in GSTR 9C for 18-19. Second announcement. So meaning thereby, what is you are supposed to do for 18-19? You may require to file GSTR 9 if your aggregate turnover is more than 2 crore, but less than 5 crore. No 9C. 9 and 9C would be required only for such taxpayer whose aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore in 18-19. So this is what first for annual return. Now, take example and move further. Let's take an example. And this I did with Pan India. There are 2-3 webinars I did for Pan India, for WIRC region, for CIRC region, and today I'm doing for NIRC region. The logic and argument which I gave for this section 16 subsection 4, I got good thumbs up from all the participants. Today you are watching me. I can't see you, but I'm feeling that I'm just in front of you and telling you, and you're giving your attention to the point which I'm deliberating before you. So please bear with me and pay your attention. This is a very tricky point and very interesting point. Let's say I got 5 crore rupees credit for February and March 2019, which is the part of financial year 2018-19. 2018-19. As per section 16, subsection 4, the question is, what is the last date to avail credit for a particular financial year? There are two dates. Earliest of due date is being prescribed. What is that earliest of due date? Due date for furnishing return under section 39. I'm not going to dispute and debate of 3B versus GSTR 3. Let's assume hypothetically, because this matter is sub judice now before Honorable Supreme Court. Let's assume 3B is a return under section 39 following the end of financial year 2018-19. So first timeline, due date of September following end of financial year 18-19, which is 20th October 2019, or date of furnishing annual return. So none, I am sure we have not yet started furnishing annual return. Otherwise, due date is 30th June 2020. Now, earliest of due date is 20th October 2019. Now, this taxpayer has availed this 5 crore rupees credit of February and March 2019 in December 2019. In December 2019, after 20th October 2019. Before I deliberate the topic, I want to understand from you guys, my audience who is watching me. Please tell me whether credit available for this 18-19 February and March 5 crore which avail in December 19 after 20th October 2019. Tell me in your chat box, yes, credit can be availed, or no, credit cannot be availed. Please go ahead. So I'm getting answers no. Saurav, Rachit, Nitesh, Manish, Hemant, Hitin is saying yes. Abhijit is saying yes. No from Ajit Singh, Rajat, Deepak Pai. They are saying no. Maximum which I could see, they are saying no. Credit is not available. Now let me present my case. Let me present, if at all this opportunity given to me, the credit is available or not. Let me make out my case, and then I will look for your answer. So all of you have given the answer, but let me now present my case. First, I'm going to say credit is available. Credit is available. That would be my answer. And why I'm saying so? Credit is available. When a lot of you are saying credit is not available, listen very carefully. Listen very, very carefully. And that is the reason, it's the beauty of my analysis. I'm trying to present before you. Let you become my lordship. You all become judge, and let me present my case. And then you give your judgment thereafter. I will say, lordship, as per section 16, subsection 4, which I have read, saying is 20th October 2019 is the earliest date to avail credit for 18-19. Now, my first point which I would like to draw before the lordship, and I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons, and let you become the judge and then give me the judgment. Let me plead before you. First, I will say, lordship, in GST law, there is one provision which categorically said, by way of an example, let me explain to all of you. If I have not filed my GST return from July to December 2019, from July to December 2019, lordship, as per GST law, I cannot file my December 19 return till the time I filed my preceding month return starting from July to November 2019. That is the GST law. I'm not saying out of GST law. GST law says बिमल पहले पिछले महीने के रिटर्न भरो, July to November. Then only you can file your December 19. Taking the same concept, Lordship, when section 16 subsection 4 says last date is 20th October 2019, I was in mid of preparation of my annual return for 17-18. 17-18 return was last date 31st January 2020. Then it's changed in a staggered manner, 3rd February, 5th February, 7th February. Lordship, tell me, when I have not filed my 17-18, I was in a mid of preparation of 17-18. How can a law put a condition on me that I should finalize my 18-19 till the time I have not finalized 17-18? My first question. Till the time, on 20th October 2019, my 17-18 was open. Till the time I finalized my preceding year annual return, it just expected I should finalize my 18-19? My first point, I'm giving from the law perspective. First point. Second point. Lordship, GST law has come with a concept, with the object clause of seamless flow of credit. Seamless flow of credit. I have not finalized my 17-18. If you expect me to finalize 18-19, is it not going contrary? First part. If you don't allow me credit on that pretext section 16 subsection 4, then it is creating double taxation for me. I am not allowed to avail credit, and then I have to discharge the GST liability. How come it is possible, Lordship? Is it double taxation which is going contrary to the object clause? Second. Third, in terms of Article 19(1)(g), which called freedom of business, Article 300, capital A, credit is my vested right. It should not done away, Lordship. It's my vested right. Looking at the business scenario for 17-18, government has allowed removal of difficulties order and allowed credit till 31st March 2019 by way of removal of difficulties order. And during this COVID-19 also, government is taking lot many initiatives for filing return, doing away the condition of Rule 36 sub Rule 4, and then time period extended, interest relief, late fees waiver. When I have not finalized my 17-18, can you expect Lordship from me 18-19 to be completed? And therein I'm expecting removal of difficulties order, because I was in a preamble, because lot many challenges. I given the example 2A is not having credit, but maybe my supplier has paid GSTR 3B, paid the taxes. My credit can't be denied, which I took only in December 2019. Having said all this thing to you, I briefly narrated also. Now I want judgment. First, you tell me, at least from legal argument perspective, and believe me, a writ is being filed in this regard. I have told you, got admitted. Notice is being issued to the revenue as well. We are all hopeful some judgment will come, but I've given my food for thought. What is in my mind to justify my point that 20th October 2019 cannot be taken as a limiting factor for availing credit of 18-19? Please tell me. Yes, please. Okay. Okay, all right. So there's Varun, I will come back to you. So I'm getting now those who were saying no, At least I'm being able to convince them. I am not taking all credit on my head. I'm able to convince them, yes, now something is really looking lucrative, something which is looking doable. This is what it's coming out. So you may have your own opinion, no denial. I'm not stopping anyone. I'm not stopping for your judgment. You take your own call. Who is stopping you? I can't stop you, but I can make my own judgment. I can make my own judgment that this is what the situation all about. Now making it more interesting, so that you will find more logic, more argument. Now, and it's a very interesting. There are two liability: forward charge and reverse charge. There is liability forward charge and reverse charge. Just look at. Now I want you to stop for your chat box. Nothing. Do not do in chat box. Leave it. I said it is subjective, debatable, personally, you can go that. I given my food for thought. I'm not asking you buy my food for thought, but given my food for thought for your consideration. Come to the next. That is the reason I'm saying open and burning issues. That is the reason I've taken this example, taken this case studies for discussion. Listen, next one, very interesting, related to section 16, subsection 4. And this was again, I want your attention, and you become now, first you have to answer me, then you become judge. First you answer me, then you become judge. Then you can give me the judgment, so that you feel relaxed today. Is it not the PowerPoint presentation going from one side and you have to listen? No, I want you to play your role, active role. I want each one of you should be engaged today and participate in this webinar, so that this is Sabka webinar. Sabne kiya, we all did it. Listen carefully. There are two liability in GST: forward charge and reverse charge. Forward charge and reverse charge. For reverse charge, I'm giving example to you. If reverse charge liability of 1819, you are paying now. Can you avail credit of GST liability of 1819? You were supposed to pay in 1819, but you didn't pay. Now you wanted to pay. Take one example and go further. Let's say 1st January 2019, you got advocate invoice. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I do not want yes, no. I do not want at all. I first want you listen me carefully. And you have to answer as per me only, so that we can always walk the talk together. 1st January 2019, part of 1819, you have received the advocate invoice. Advocate. First, you tell me you didn't pay to your advocate. What is time of supply? Tell me, what is time of supply for this advocate invoice, which was raised on 1st January 2019, let's say for 10 lakh rupees, and you were supposed to pay 1,80,000 reverse charge liability. First, my question to learned audience is, what is the time of supply when you were supposed to pay this liability under reverse charge method? Write down, chat box. Okay, Bharat. Seetal, no. Okay. Fenil is okay, good. Who next? I want to see, and I'm naming it, wherever I could read your name, because it's going faster. That's the reason. Okay. Hemant has given. Avijit is also writing. All right. Okay. Udit is also writing. All right. Okay. Now listen the answer. Perfect. I'm getting some answers. Some are correct. Some are incorrect. But it's very much, very much relevant when I take up the example and relate with my topic. Time of supply for reverse charge for services under section 13 subsection 3 of CGST Act is earliest of to date. Date of payment by the recipient which you didn't pay, or date following the end of 60 days from the date of invoice. So 61st day would be the POT, point of taxation time of supply. So this is the first answer. You can correlate, check everything. Time of supply, reverse charge liability for 1819 was 61st day, which is falling in 1819, which you didn't pay. Now you are paying that GST liability. GST liability. Can you avail credit? Next question. You pay now and avail credit of 1819. Of 1819. Tell me, please. Tell me fast. I want to see in the chat box that you're answering this. Please. So, okay. Okay. So now I don't know, maybe you're driven with my answers, my logic. That's the reason you are saying that. Now, but let's look at the answer. Let's look at the answer. I'm of the opinion you can avail credit first. I'm of the opinion you can avail credit. But listen carefully now. Listen carefully. You have to justify from legal perspective. How come it is available? How can I avail the credit? Listen very carefully. Listen. There is one section 31 subsection 3 clause F. And this section says, Bimal, when you are purchasing from unregistered supplier, maybe for the notified goods or services of section 9 subsection 3 or section 9 subsection 4. When you're purchasing from unregistered supplier, being a recipient, you should raise self-invoice to yourself, consolidated month-wise, self-invoice. 31 subsection 3 clause F, self-invoice. When you go to a rule, now you have to really abide by the law. You have to really go and abide by the law. When you are going to a rule 36, which saying what is the document on which you can avail credit. Rule 36 says what are the document on which you can avail credit. Then rule 36 says you can avail credit on the basis of invoice raised by your supplier under section 31 subsection 1 for goods, subsection 2 for services. Then creating next point that I can avail credit on the basis of invoice which I generated. Self-invoice. When I purchase from unregistered supplier, then that invoice would be the document for availing credit. That invoice would be the document for availing credit, but only after payment. Rule 36 says, Bimal, you can avail credit on the basis of invoice generated under section 31(3)(f), but available only on payment, reverse charge liability. Even the bill of entry on import of goods, that is the document for availing credit. ISD invoice, for availing ISD credit. Now, when I read all this provision, Rule 36 is creating departure, saying supplier raising the invoice under forward charge, another provision, and recipient raising invoice under 31 subsection 3F, another provision. And I know I can avail reverse charge liability, I can avail credit of RCM only on payment, though there's a document generated. So conclusion coming out, yes, I'm liable to pay my RCM liability from 61st day. 61st day along with interest. If I pay now, interest credit is not available, but RCM liability paid, I can avail credit if I read Rule 36 for availing credit, and hence I can conclude with my opinion that for RCM liability paid now, it is not falling for the condition of section 16 subsection 4. Now I want to see in your chat box this analysis. Please tell me, analysis which I did, where really if you got it right, say yes. If you really find no, still it is to your understanding, you can say no. All free to you. So you can say yes and no in your chat box, please. Okay. So a lot of yes is coming in, and they are getting my argument also. They are now walking the talk with me. So maximum are yes. So I'm perfect. I'm really liking that you are. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So I'm through with my second case study. Second case study. Let me do my third case study. Third case study. Third case study. So listen carefully now. Participants, just a minute. Participants who are seeing me, for you it's very easy to copy paste. Whatever you have written, you can copy paste in your chat box. For you, it is very easy. One guy is Himanshu Bhateja is there. He's saying, please repeat again or brief it. Please, Himanshu, try to appreciate. We got 2 hours webinar. I really, I'm understanding that you wanted me to brief, but try to understand it will not justify with other participants. And that's the reason I repeatedly say, please pay your attention. In case you haven't got it properly, my only request to you would be that later on you can see such, webinar. But let me tell you, you can really go to my YouTube channel, and there are a lot of, presentation got uploaded, which you can check by yourself for the benefit of other participants, those who are participating. Let me do the justification part. Yes, please. Now, please come. Please come and listen. Next one. Third case study. See, whatever I'm discussing with the integrity. I'm going at length and discussing at length for your interest, so that you will get more and more. And then in turn, we say, Dil Maage more. So nevertheless, start. One CFO of a big PSU, big public sector undertaking, came to my office, and he said, Bimalji, I want to understand, and I have just one small query. In GST, you will know that we all are aware of, we got only small queries. There is no big query. Everyone is having small query. So this CFO coming to my office and saying, Bimal ji, small query, chota sa, small query. I said, what? He said, Bimal ji, I was supposed to avail credit of 6,25,000. 6,25,000. 6,25,000 in respective account of CGST and SGST. But you know that when we file GSTR 3B, it is normally last date. So we try on last date and we find that server is down. My return is not going. So my accountant was trying to file 3B and putting this number of 6,25,000. So he was putting 0, but that 0 was not visible to him. But by that time he could submit and file GSTR 3B. By the time he could file GSTR 3B, it was 6 crore 25 lakh. Credit in respective account CGST and SGST as against 6,25,000. He posted a query to me, Bimal ji, what should I do now? I said, boss, you have wrongly availed the credit, which was not your credit. It is only 6,25,000. You availed 6 crore 25 lakh. It is not possible. So what to be done? I said, reverse the credit in succeeding month. Reverse the credit in succeeding month. His next question again top up with small query. Sir, do I require to pay interest on reversal of this credit which was wrongly availed? I'm posting query to all of you. Please tell me. I am looking answer from you guys only. Whether interest is leviable, tell me yes or no. Tell me yes or no. Okay. Interest is leviable or not? Okay. Perfect. So Pankaj is saying yes. Poonam is saying no. Ashwini Garg is saying yes, and that too with 24% rate of interest. Okay. Okay. So I'm getting mix. I'm getting no or major. No or major. No means no interest. Now here, my answer to all of you. And with one example, I can convince you. With one example, I will convince you that no interest leviable. So those who are giving no, I'm with them only. But let me give you the one example so that you are convinced. You are convinced. Listen. Let's say you got 1,000 rupees liability. Let's say you got 1,000 rupees. I given the opinion to that PSU, legal opinion. But today we are doing COVID-19. We are enjoying. We are trying our best. So what happened? What answer I gave? I will tell you. Just listen very carefully. No interest. You got 1,000 rupees liability. You pay 900 rupees from your e-cash ledger. Assume 900 rupees from e-cash ledger. And then you have to pay 100 rupees from your e-credit ledger. And let's assume you got 500 rupees in your e-credit ledger, which includes 100 rupees wrongly availed credit. Let's assume hypothetically. So you're paying 900 from e-cash ledger. You are paying 100 rupees from e-credit ledger, which is having 500 rupees, including 100 rupees wrongly availed credit. Now, can department argue? And department will always allege, I'm sure, that I have used this credit 100 rupees, which is wrongly availed, for discharging the GST liability. And from a taxpayer, I'm going to argue, no, sir, it was 500 rupees, which includes 100 rupees wrongly, but I used my eligible credit. I have used my eligible credit. And second, section 50 subsection 1 says interest is leviable when there is non-payment or short payment. There's no question of non-payment because 1,000 rupees was paid. Now only question was whether I have used that 100 rupees, though I'm having 400 rupees eligible credit, or is there any short payment? To my mind, neither there is non-payment, there is no short payment. I'm having enough credit, eligible credit, to make sure that I have not utilized this wrongly availed credit. On this line, Patna High Court has given one judgment in the commercial steel. Till the time credit result into reduction in output tax liability, which is utilization, no interest can be charged. And the recent Jharkhand High Court judgment in Vasudev Construction Company, you can see all this video on my YouTube channel. It is there. I have analyzed everything. You can watch those videos. They have said even for interest, so-called notice must be issued. Without adjudication, even interest cannot be demanded. Third argument, I could have corrected this clerical error. I could have corrected this clerical error had I been given a revision option of 3B. Since government has not given me revision option, I can only go to the succeeding month and reverse credit, which I have not utilized. Hence, interest is not leviable. This is the total analogy which I have drawn for your analysis. Now coming back to 17 subsection 5, GST ITC and Intricacies. Listen carefully. Now this would be, maybe I would be taking 2 more case study, and then I will see your chat box for open queries and answer. Let me take 2 more case studies and conclude, then I will start with the question answer. Until then, listen carefully. You know, there's a concept called block credit. 17 subsection 5 of CGST Act. Though in the GST there's a concept that input service, capital goods used in the course of furtherance of business, credit is available. But in GST law, there is section 17 subsection 5. Even though input and input services are in the course of furtherance of business, but still credit is not available. Credit is not available. I'm going to do 2 case studies with all of you, because within the time limit, I really want to act. But these 2 case study, I will club with the valuation also. So, you know, I discussed one RCM liability club with the time of supply advocate. Here I'm going to discuss ITC also and valuation also, and make it more interesting, a presentable picture before you. Listen very much carefully. There's section 17 subsection 5 clause C and clause D. And here I have got a lot of top-up queries. So I would be saying and asking, you'd be responding, and then I will proceed further. So let's be actively get engaged. Listen carefully now. Section 17 subsection 5 clause C says, Bimal, GST credit not available on works contract services. And works contract services is a supply of service in GST, para 6A schedule 2, and it is always in relation to immovable property. works contract services as defined under section 2 subsection 119 of CGST Act. Bimal, you will not be given credit for works contract services used for construction of immovable property other than plant and machinery, meaning thereby works contract for construction of immovable property, no credit available. But available all plant and machinery, or otherwise, if it is inward supply of same works contract services to the other party, then credit is available. So I've said everything. Now with the practical example, let's you all become my client. You all are my client, customer, Reliance Industries Limited. You have given a contract to me. I'm a main contractor for construction of factory building. 100 crore rupees. 100 crore rupees. Now, my first question to you, and you must answer fast so that we can move faster. If I undertake construction, which is works contract service, charge GST as a client customer, can you take credit? Tell me yes or no. Faster. Yes or no. All right. Credit available or not? So I'm getting the answer. You're saying credit not available. Shivam is again saying yes. I do not know that credit is not available. First part. Second part. Had it been construction of plant and machinery, credit available? Tell me yes or no. Had it been construction of plant and machinery, credit is available? Yes. So credit is available. So look at the difference now. So we have to understand the meaning of plant and machinery. What is the meaning of plant and machinery? Plant and machinery means any apparatus, equipment, or machinery fixed by way of foundation or structural support, used for taxable outward supplies. Credit is available. And what is not plant and machinery? Land and building. Second, telecommunication tower. Third, pipeline laid outside the factory. Credit is not available. Now come to the third component of this example. If I have subcontracted the work to my subcontractor, this work, 100 crore. So 50 crore I subcontracted. The subcontractor is giving works contract services to Bimal Jain, main contractor, charging GST on 50 crore. Whether Bimal Jain can avail credit? Say yes or no. Whether Bimal Jain can avail credit? Please tell me faster. Go faster. Yes, credit available. All right. All right. Credit is available. Now, one more analysis. What is the meaning of construction? Because use construction of immovable property, right? What is the meaning of construction? Construction means reconstruction, renovation, addition, alteration, or repairs to the extent capitalized in the value of immovable property. To the extent capitalized in the value of immovable property. So just to take one example, let's say you're getting your immovable property repaired. You want your immovable property to be repaired. and this repair is a construction as per this explanation, and you're not capitalizing the value. It is charged to revenue account, PL account. Can you avail credit? Say yes or no. Can you avail credit? Please tell me. Can you avail credit? Deepak Gupta ji. Please tell me. Credit is available because it is not capitalized in the value of immovable property. Perfect. So you're right for 17 subsection 5 clause C. Come to the section 17 subsection 5 clause D, the last one, and then with the valuation. Now any goods or services purchase and use for construction of immovable property. So cement and iron steel used for construction of immovable property on his own account, even though it is in the course of furtherance of business, credit is not available. So taking the same example, let's say you're a client, and you purchase cement and iron steel. And paid GST to your supplier. This is going to be used for construction of immovable property. Can you tell me whether credit available? Tell me, credit available to you being client. Tell me. Okay. So you're saying credit not available. But what if I purchase cement and iron steel main contractor, paying GST to the supplier, using for construction of immovable property, can I avail credit as a main contractor? Tell me yes or no. Yes. Okay. Credit is available. Perfect. Okay. Now the $1 million. This is the beauty of this case study. This is the utmost which I wanted to draw for you. Listen. Now here I want you just watch and listen to me very carefully. You given a contract to me for 100 crore, right? For construction of factory building. Assume factory building. You have to consider in a mind 17 subsection 5 clause C and clause D both together. Let's say, being client, you purchase cement and iron steel. Being client, Reliance Industries. You paid GST to your supplier also. 50 crore. Let's assume 50 crore worth. Now, first question which you have already answered, if you are a client, you are purchasing goods, cement, iron, steel, for construction of immovable property, credit not available to you. So this GST is a cost. Now you have given this cement and iron steel free to me, free of cost. You have given to a main contractor. Contract was 100 crore, but you have given me 50 crore cement and iron steel free. I'm supposed to get only 50 crore from you. But since you have given me FOC material, question comes, do I require to include this 50 crore FOC material in my valuation, main contractor valuation, for chargeability of GST? This is my question. Please tell me in a comment box whether need to be included or not. Tell me yes or no. Okay. So a lot of you are now yes, no, both the answers I'm getting. Okay, all right. It need to be included. as per section 15, subsection 2, clause B. So valuation provision says when supplier liable, I was liable for 100 crore, but incurred by recipient, 50 crore need to be included. So what happened? I will include in my valuation for chargeability of GST. So there is double tax credit. First, you purchase cement and iron steel as a client cost. Now, included in my value, charge GST, again cost. Such contract need to be revisited. You need to really could have bifurcated my contract to the extent of 50 crore only, so that it was not falling under section 15, subsection 2, clause B. Supplier is liable, but incurred by recipient. Tax planning you must do. Second part. And this is the big debate pan-India. As a client, you want me to construct mall, hotel, factory building. I'm charging GST. Credit is not available to you, but you know that the Odisha High Court judgment, Safari retreats, says credit is available. Now here again I can ask you guys again, what is your take? Law saying credit not available, but Odisha High Court says credit is available. This matter is being stayed by the Supreme Court. SLP filed in Supreme Court, got stayed, but matter is still sub judice, not yet decided. Matter is sub judice. Now I'm connecting this issue. GST law really wanted to have seamless flow of credit. Am I right? Object clause of my Constitution Amendment Act also envisages that there should be seamless flow of credit. Can I undertake any taxable outward supply, because mall is going to be used for commercial purpose, hotel is going to be used for the commercial purpose, factory building going to be used for manufacturing of taxable goods? Why credit not available, and why so much of debate? So law is being made contrary to the object clause of my GST introduced in the country. Let's see, later on we'll see. But I want to connect this issue with a very interesting one, and that would be my submission. Last one I'm connecting with the important one. I know credit is not available for construction of immovable property. 17 subsection 5 clause C and clause D. But if I'm a smart tax consultant, advisor, or a taxpayer, if at all I need to advise to my client, what advice I would be giving in the context when I know Odisha High Court has said credit available, matter is sub judice? My advice to the client would be, boss, you avail the credit. You avail the credit. He would be asking, sir, it is not available to me. My other friend has said. I say, you avail the credit. I will give my argument. You first avail the credit to satisfy section 16, subsection 4. So that last date criteria, last date to avail credit, that should not come as a bottleneck to you. First, you avail the credit, so that you satisfy the condition of section 16, subsection 4. Maybe tomorrow it can be debated, since you have not availed within the time frame, hence credit not available. If Supreme Court decide in favor of a taxpayer, try to understand, Supreme Court may decide in favor of taxpayer and may not decide in favor of a taxpayer. Listen. Clearly, I'm not asking you guys to really put your anything in a comment box till the time I say. I do not want anything in a chat box. Listen to me very carefully. I will say that avail the credit on this construction, even though I know it is a subjective issue. First, I will avail credit to ensure that tomorrow it will not end up that I have not availed credit within section 16 subsection 4. If Supreme Court decide in favor of a taxpayer, I will avail credit. If tomorrow Supreme Court decide negative and say credit not available, as a smart taxpayer and consultant, what I will do, I will not use this credit till the time matter decided by the Supreme Court. If Supreme Court decide negative, credit not available, believe me, I will change my analogy. Then what I will do, once Supreme Court judgment comes, I will reverse the credit, which I have not utilized. Hence, on reversal, no interest liable. Just while ago we have done that. Just while ago we have done analysis, the credit which is not utilized, and I reverse the same, no interest liable. So I got two good things in my hand. Availing credit, I'm satisfying section 16 subsection 4, but not utilizing, waiting for the Supreme Court judgment. And once judgment comes and says, Bimal ji, credit nahi milega, not available, I will reverse because I have not utilized, hence no interest. So I have taken best conscious call to say this is the block credit connected with section 16(4), and since law is evolving, we can see and watch what best call we can take as on date. Now, having said that, now one last point to all of you, one last concluding point to all of you, then I will request organizer for the question answer session. If they have any question, they can definitely. Before that, I know that my all NIRC member are watching me, seeing me, and I can't see you, but with invisible eyes, keeping my eyes closed, you all are in front of me. I know that you are the learned ones, and with your love and affection with me, I'm growing day by day. I really want to do something good and positive during COVID-19. Even during COVID-19, I've said this lockdown is only in the mind. Believe me, lockdown is in the mind. It is really giving opportunity for all of us together to do something good. Take this COVID-19 time period as a transformation of your career perspective, brushing your knowledge, reinventing yourself. Do whatever you like to do. Try out some area which is not GST. Why GST at all time? Do something good, which you like most, which you have your love and passion. Do that one where you get maximum that you'd be liking to do that. You feel like, doing something good that is more attractive and gives more, your passion for doing that activity. During COVID-19, I'm also trying my best to respond back to all the friends, those who are around. They want to interact with me, but you know that pre-GST, we are highly occupied for number of reasons. Like you're occupied serving the client, we are occupied serving the client. But during COVID-19, I had taken my one initiative. Since my friend, I like Shashank Bhai, you know that we enjoy relationship like this. I've done a lot of program at East Delhi, East Delhi Study Circle, and Shashank Bhai known to me, and everyone here, Ratan ji, Deepak ji, Ajay ji, Sandeep ji, everyone known to me. During this COVID-19 till continuing, I'm sharing my mobile number with each one of you. I'm doing free of cost, whatever best I can do and contribute for my fraternity. During this time period, you can post your query to me as time permit, WhatsApp. As permit, I will definitely try to respond back to you. And with this number, at least we get connected together. So taking this NIRC platform, Shashank Bhai, sharing my
Yes, sir.
number with all the friends. You can take down 98 106 04 563. So you can always send your appreciation, your feedback, your suggestion, and your query through WhatsApp. I will try to resolve. And with this process, I always believe sabka saath, sabka vikas. And I'm not from BJP. We have our own fraternity. We have our own fraternity. We'll do something for ourselves. So, wishing each one of you a great success and take this COVID-19 as a transformation time period for our profession and for your own career. With this, allow me to say thank you and opening up for the question answer in case you're having that. Hand over to you, Sasank Bhai.
Yes, sir. So there is one question from Rahul Malhotra ji
Yes.
over the screen.
If we reverse ITC under Rule 42 for capital goods instead of 43, any demand can be raised. Boss, for differential amount and calculation of 42 and 43 are different. So to that extent, if there is shortfall, of course, demand can be raised. If there's no shortfall, nothing to worry about. Next, credit note not allowed. It's going faster now. For the reason of bad date, what is the legal option under GST law? Akhil, I could have resolved, but this is the professional platform. I've got one jugaad for that. Jugaad I'm not discussing here. I do agree that for bad date it is not allowed, which is incorrect. So this jugaad I'm not discussing on this platform. Okay, coming is this restriction, Mahesh sir, to take IGST till September 3B is also applicable to IGST paid by importer? Yes. I've said in my analysis that RCM liability, I don't believe that 16 subsection 4 last date criteria is applicable. Coming to the Ankush cancellation applied in January 20, no response by GST department. Don't worry. Now, 39 GST Council meeting has held that all cancellation which has been done till 14th March 2020, one-time relaxation, revocation for cancellation would be coming. And there's one provision which I could have done, but because of time pause, I did not do. Notification number 35/2020, wherein it is being said that any time limit which is expiring for GST law compliance and the GST Act rules made thereunder in a period 20th March 2020 to 29 June 2020, due date would be 30th June. So rest assured, there will not be any problem for that. Even it is cancelled, you are getting an opportunity and law is supposed to be amended. I'm in touch with the CBIC officials. They are going to announce in this regard as well. So this is the answer for you.
बिमल जी एक और आंसर एक और है प्लीज, एक शायद पोस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे तो उन्होंने मुझे व्हाट्सएप भेजा है.
बताइए सर.
हाँ, वो कह रहे ए सप्लायर बाइज सम गिफ्ट आइटम से बैग्स फ्रॉम ए रजिस्टर्ड पर्सन with his logo printed on them and gifts the same to its clients. He has claimed ITC on this supply. Will it be liable to pay GST on this gift transaction since the word used in entry 1 schedule 1 is disposal of business assets, which has not been defined in the act? Is it fair to assume that in business assets will not include only capital assets but will also include inputs, in our case bags, and accordingly this transaction becomes a supply transaction even if consideration is missing? If so, will this person be liable to issue invoice in respect of this gift transaction and pay tax accordingly and no need to TPO रिवर्सल ITC प्लीज कंफर्म? ऐसा लिखा है, सुखविंदर मन्नास जी ने भेजा व्हाट्सएप.
चलिए मैं करता हूँ.
हाँ जी.
Maybe this is the last question because of time pause. I got some other engagement after 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So maybe this is the last one. See, the gift when you're referring to, I know this is barred under section 17 subsection 5 clause H. Creditage not available. I'm of the opinion that gift is something different and sales promotion is something different. When I undertake and do something, it is always in relation to, in the course of furtherance of my business. I never do anything for the gifting purpose. It's not the personal gift I'm offering to anyone. Where my logo is being embossed, which is giving me sales promotion in the course of business, furtherance of business, I can tell you this is another area which is subjective area. Lot of litigation, lot of if and buts, a lot of divergent opinion is spreading around. I'm of the opinion credit is available. Credit cannot be denied. Because ultimately, this is I'm doing as a part of my business activity. And whatever expenses incurred becomes a part of my pricing of the product. See, ultimately, I'm a businessman. I've got revenue side, I've got expense side. Whatever I expense, I built in my pricing of the product. So thereby it's a part of my business. So there's nothing like one-on-one correlation need to be drawn unless I can prove to the authority this was gift which has got no connection. So to my mind, credit is available.
Thank you, sir.
I think we had a great session with Bimal Jain sir, and
Yes, sir.
Sure.
and we really enjoyed Bimal sir because the way you have taken up the involvement of every participant, it is mind blowing, and we really respect your way how you teach people, and you act like a leader for all of us for indirect taxation and for everyone. And thank you for helping everyone. And we have shared your number as well, so that everyone will can able to take your benefits.
So
Now I request Sandeep Sharma ji, our convener of East Delhi Study Circle, please give a formal vote of thanks to Bimal sir and all the participants, and Deepak Kapoor ji, Karnal branch chairman, and Ajay ji. Please, sir, Sandeep ji. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sasank, Chairman NRC. First of all, a very big thank you to Bimal ji. As usual, you are very informative, very interactive, and apart from that, you did the discussion in a case studies type that is all needed right now, right? One of the days when we are discussing the laws in a section wise or rule wise, but yes, it is a important, very important. You need to do the cases and case studies, that too in a different perspective. Thank you so much. It was a very intelligent discussion, a very knowledge discussion, and a very good food of thought for all of us. Second, I would like to thank you, NRC Chairman Shashank Agarwal, and all the NRC office bearer, apart from Deepak Kapoor ji, Ajay Kumar Jain ji. See, you people did a very good job in COVID-19. जो अभी आया हुआ है पार्ट, इसमें अगर आप देखें, you people have done a tremendous good job where you people are not only interacting on a daily basis on very important or relevant topic with all of us, but you did a good job in collaborating with each and every branch, each and every chapter, apart from the other region as well. You see, we are from NIRC, we are also interacting with the EIRC, WIRC and all. It's a very commendable job, and I must congratulate from our study circle to all of you. Please do continue the good job, and which is good for all of us. Apart from that, I would also like to congratulate all the participants for making this session very interactive and successful. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shashank ji. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
बहुत बढ़िया सेशन था, रियली सर, बहुत वंडरफुल सर। सबसे बेटर काम आपने